Welcome to the show. All right, according to the CDC, we've mentioned this before, fentanyl poisoning is now the #1 cause of death in U.S. adults 18 to 45. Now we have attorney generals from 18 different states asking President Biden in a letter to make fentanyl designation under a weapon of mass destruction. If Biden did this, as you know, fentanyl would become, it would trigger more agencies to get involved, like the Department of Homeland Security. You are on the Homeland Security Committee. Do you think this is the right move?
Well, Lindsay, thank you for having me on. I will tell you that fentanyl is a massive crisis for this country right now. 107,000 people just in 2021 died from drug overdoses, and about 70,000 of those from synthetic opioids like fentanyl. So just think about 70,000 people a year dying from fentanyl. And the number that you mentioned about the amount of fentanyl that came across the border, 12,000 pounds, just 2,200 pounds coming across in August alone. I mean, this is a very, very serious issue for the United States, and most of it is coming from China, our arch enemy. You think that China is sending fentanyl into our country, pouring it into our country to kill our people. And that's exactly what is happening. And now you're seeing it being dyed and being processed to look like candy. And with that, you know they're targeting the younger folks. And as you mentioned, just that itty bitty amount of it, the weight of a mosquito is enough to kill an individual. I mean, the amount of fentanyl that has come across in just this last year would kill 2.9 billion people. That's 8 times the population of the United States. It is a huge issue, and we need to do everything that we possibly can to stop it. And I think the #1 way to do that is to secure our southern border. The Biden's policies of an open border right now are what is drawing fentanyl into our country. So I think the current administration is responsible for this. You know, if we had a border wall, if we had a secure border, we wouldn't have fentanyl coming into our country. We wouldn't have 70,000 people annually dying from fentanyl or synthetic opioid poisoning. This is it's inexcusable for the Biden administration to do this or to allow this.
And just for note as well, Congressman, in 2013, there were only 2 pounds of fentanyl that came across our southern border. So just in comparison, this is clearly a massive national issue. DEA Administrator Ann Milgram, she was asked about Republicans laying blame on the Biden administration. Here was her response.
Republicans have been incredibly critical of the border policy. They say all this fentanyl is coming in because of the Biden administration's border policies. What do you say to that?
First of all, we, of course, defer to the Department of Homeland Security that has a responsibility for the border. Our job is to dismantle the cartels.
All right, so the point you just brought up, she dismisses. Do you think this administration is taking it seriously enough?
No, not at all. This administration is not taking this opioid crisis seriously. In fact, you know, she did not answer the question. It was a very valid question. I think it's a very important question that needs to be asked. And the Biden administration is literally not only not doing anything about it, but they are actually incentivizing illegal immigration in our nation. And with illegal immigration comes, you know, drugs in backpacks coming from illegals that are coming across the border. I mean, for Vice President Harris to say that our border is secure is just literally, you know, that's disrespecting the American people. I mean, because that's just an outright lie. We know it's not a secure border. I mean, the Border Patrol knows it's not secure, and above all, the illegal aliens and the cartels know it's not secure. So they are pushing drugs across our southern border, which is wide open, and that's killing Americans, causing, you know, safety issues in every community in our nation.
Yeah. Congressman Andrew Clyde, I wish we had more time because there's so much more to talk about on this topic, especially as we have Halloween approaching with this fentanyl crisis. Hope to have you back soon. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Lindsay.